name is Tadas Adamsis. I'm a civics and ethical education teacher for grade 11 students at St. Joseph School.
My name is Isaias Medus. I teach maths in St. Joseph School, grades 8 and 11.
My name is Emmanuel Tafari. I'm a grade 10A student in St. Joseph High School.
My name is Ese Katama. I'm a grade 10 student at St. Joseph's.
My name is Brokwan Dosan. I learn in St. Joseph's School.
My name is Amir Ahmed and I'm currently an 11th grader science student at St. Joseph High School. And we'll get on with the questions.
Well, the road conditions in Addis Ababa need a lot of work, to put it in a sentence. The reason why I say this is there are a lot of road construction going on, but even though they are being constructed, they are later being dug and they're later being damaged because of other transportation, other constructions taking place, like the railway systems currently taking place in Addis, and also the water line to maintain or edit the water line systems. Roads are being dug, and this can only lead to the roads being damaged. And there are also cobblestone roads in Addis, which that's a good start in the city. And the other parts of the road are just dust.
In this capital of Ethiopia, the road conditions are very dangerous. Cars and pedestrians alike do not usually obey the rules that are supposed to be obeyed in the city. We see Addis Ababa has been recently called the place where most traffic accidents take place when you take the population to car ratio. And so this actually clearly shows how unsafe it is for pedestrians to walk and for cars to be driven in the city.
Well, usually in Addis Ababa, since Ethiopia is a developing country, Ethiopia is a developing country, and Addis Ababa also, as its capital, is developing, and most are in road construction, or most are just in construction right now. None of them are really functional, and the roads that are functional are, busy. Or since when you relate the number of people that live in Addis Ababa, and when you relate the number of people with the number of people that want to get to places, that travel to places, that go to their workplaces, the number of people that go to school, when you relate them to the amount of available roads in Addis Ababa, it's hard.
It does seem very inconvenient since the city is under construction. That means infrastructural developments are being undertaken currently, especially in the area of road construction. It is currently under construction, and this seems to create inconvenience for pedestrians and for those drivers as well in the city.
There are some asphalt roads and highways in Ethiopia, but also in Addis Ababa, but most of the roads are gravel, and even the government doesn't take good care of the highways. And during the Ethiopian summer, where it rains very heavily, these roads are severely damaged, and the government does really less work to make these roads safer and to fix them.
I'll be lying if I say I don't feel safe, because I do feel safe, because I've been accustomed to crossing the roads. They've been part of my daily life, so I feel safe. But if I think about it, sometimes it scares me, because there are drunk drivers, there are drivers without license, there are different construction roads, construction cars, huge trucks in the middle of the road sometimes, and this can only make me not safe.
It depends on which street I'm crossing. Like neighborhood streets, obviously is safe, there's only one or two cars pass by. But highways, high-speed cars come by, so you're afraid of crossing.
Yes, I feel safe, but sometimes I don't feel safe, because sometimes people drive car, but they're drunk, then they might have a car accident, or they maybe kill someone. And the other things are, when I cross the road, some cars ride so fast, and when I cross, they might maybe kill me. So I wait until the cars are not fast until the cars are stopping. When they stop,
No, not really. Well, some streets, yes. For example, around my neighborhood, you don't see a lot of cars, and the roads are very narrow to cross. But other places, like business districts or marketplaces, I don't feel safe. I always have a certain uneasy feeling while crossing the road.
Well, when I cross the streets, especially if I don't use the zebra, I'm afraid. Maybe a car may come.
Of course, the right is there. You have the right to off-way, but it's not well protected for me due to maybe the problems I've mentioned so far.
The right of way, I don't think I have the right of way because I almost feel like I'm wrestling against the cars to cross the road.
Again, I said 50-50. Depends on which street I'm using. I'm usually given the right of way in like narrower streets and with less cars. But when there are more cars, if one gives you the right, the other one might pass by and more accidents.
No, I don't. Because usually the cars in Addis Ababa, especially the taxis, they do not respect any rule in the rule book. They don't even abide by the speed limit. So I do not have the right of way. I usually have to wait for cars to pass by before I can make my decision to cross or not to cross.
It's better nowadays because since through the media it's been told that drivers, since if they even accidentally hit a pedestrian, since it's life sentence or since it's prison for them, most are really careful. But since not a lot of them have the right kind of education, I'm not saying that I have the 100% right of way, but I'm saying that a road does.
I think there are no traffic lights working now. There was once which was working near Lagahar, but I think it has stopped due to the construction, the railway construction.
That's really number one concern during the seasons here, because the traffic lights in most major roads are not working. If you even take Mascada, for example, the traffic lights are not working, and that's a major concern because without traffic lights, this leads to more late dangers and accidents, since drivers don't know which way to go or which way is safe or which way is open.
Yes, most of them aren't working. Traffic is mainly guided by the police officers.
Well, the traffic lights are one main issue that should be fixed immediately, I say immediately, because those are the key things that can actually help pedestrians cross the road safely.
Well, the traffic lights do not give services on a regular basis. Sometimes you see traffic policemen assisting drivers to pass through some areas where traffic lights are very important. So they are not providing the adequate services they are intended to. There are breakdowns, sometimes they do not work or they do not give service, and there are areas where there shall be traffic lights while there is not, and I don't think the traffic lights in Addis Ababa are in a condition they need to be.
No. Again, it depends on the street in which they are driving. If it's neighborhood streets, yes, they yield. Plus, there are in neighborhood streets, there are bumpers on the roads, so it slows them down, which is good enough as yielding when they see the pedestrians crossing by. But in highways, it's extremely fast, and then they have to stop only at roundabouts. So it's pretty much, they don't yield that much.
Oh, not really. Most drivers are selfish, and especially taxi drivers are selfish. And that's really the main concern, because taxi drivers transport a large number of people around town. So if they don't really obey the traffic laws, then it means it leads to a lot of dangers. So no, I don't think.
Well, because in this city particularly, accidents are very frequent. day-to-day basis, we see lots of accidents, and they're not just minor accidents, they're major ones where lots of cars and deaths are involved. So we should address this issue daily and every day. We should find a solution immediately. So I think that's why.
This is very important. This is very important because unless we teach people on how they shall use roads or ways and on the problems that are attached to traffic accidents, it's very hard to bring about change. I think Ethiopia is one of the countries where high rate of car accidents takes place. So this is the right time for the government or any other stakeholder to intervene and do something, especially in the area of creating awareness.
Yeah, road safety is a very important issue because as Addis Ababa is one of the most dangerous cities in terms of road safety, and it is leading to many deaths and destruction of property. So road safety is a very important issue to me, and it should be addressed by the Ethiopian government and anybody that is concerned.
Like fast cars, drunk riders.
These nowadays, there are lots of road constructions, half road constructions that actually are obstacles while crossing the roads. They don't usually, pedestrians don't usually see them. Even I have made mistakes. For example, the Bole road is actually a big obstacle. Both lanes are being used as two-way lanes, whereby I don't see cars coming from my right, only looking to my left.
Could be, most importantly, the fact that drivers usually rush for their own purposes rather than giving concern to pedestrians. As I've heard from news transmitted through the radio, a number of accidents occur due to the failure of drivers to give way for pedestrians.
Whenever I can find them. Whenever they're available, I have to use them.
Not always, but sometimes I do.
Footbridges, yeah, I use one when I go to home. There's a short walkway and there's a wooden bridge, and I do not feel safe because it might snap and it might be broken and you would fall into the hole. So I don't feel safe.
I don't use the footbridges. I use them only sometimes, but the footbridges in Addis Ababa are not very convenient. If you find one somewhere in the city, to find the next footbridge you have to take like 10 kilometers, so they're not very convenient, but you see some people using them, but many of the people usually cross by jumping the ledges on the road.
Okay. I usually use footbridges, but there are times where I jump over
The leaves.
Yeah, because the footbridges are not convenient, which means they are too far away each other, and it's very hard for you to cross all that way in order to use the footbridges. You may be in a hurry for a certain purpose, and you will be obliged to jump, and this creates, of course, accidents.
Be careful, and some children play on the rod. People say don't play on the rod, but I don't think so. That is a good idea, because they say that's a good idea, but people don't make them pass. They just told them and they leave.
First of all, you're supposed to cross with an adult or with somebody older than you. And the other one, I remember, you're supposed to look on both sides of the road. And you're not supposed to play alongside the road because you could be easily exposed to traffic accidents. And never cross in diagonals. You should always cross in straight lines.
And also the government along with its different offices and bureaus, is expected to teach children at different levels. And these stakeholders, parents, schools, and other concerned institutions or individuals shall work together in order to promote the development of awareness in the area of using roads in the proper manner.
Well, first of all, that cars in Addis are not safe. That's one they should know. And second of all, footbridges, those are one thing they should really know. They should use them. And third, look right, look left, look right again, look left again.
I think the pedestrians are yielding.
Pedestrians are waiting for cars to pass because cars usually, unless there's a traffic police officer at the end, they don't stop at the zebra line.
It's very hard to decide that cars are giving way for pedestrians or pedestrians for cars. It depends. There are some drivers who give way for pedestrians, but in most of the time, I don't witness this. So people are giving way for cars rather than